when the whole world is facing uncertainties and unpredictability as far as the future is concerned. And normally those uncertainties, the slowdowns, the volatilities happen to plague the entire global economy. And countries across the world get adversely affected by it. But this is one opportunity where most countries in the world are facing serious challenges. And of course, some of them are impacting us also. We are impacted by the shrinkage of the export markets, substantially on account of values, partly because of volumes. We are also impacted because global demands are slow, which also adversely impact us. Domestically, we are also impacted by the fact that we've had 2 continuous years of a less than normal monsoon. But despite these adversities, India is increasingly becoming more and more aspirational, more and more hopeful. And therefore, despite a global slowdown, we are perhaps one of the only countries in the world amongst the major economies which is managing to maintain a respectable growth rate. And almost each one of us present here today realizes that despite global adversities, our real potential is significantly more than what we are achieving today. Assuming India today in the nature of about 7.5% growth rate, you can add or subtract a little to it. And over the next few months, or let us say in the coming year, we are able to implement the goods and services tax. Hopefully, as I have announced, with the coming budget, we are able to rationalize, start the process of rationalizing our direct taxes. I have already committed to the fact that we will slowly start bringing them the higher slab down as far as corporate tax is concerned. Our emphasis on increased spending on infrastructure continues to increase because the oil price situation continues to be favorable to us. We are able to substantially invest the 50,000 crores that we have promised to put into irrigation. The next third season of monsoon at least is normal. And some revival of the global growth starts taking place. Now, if these things start happening, in addition to where we are, I don't see any difficulty with India improving upon its growth rates by 1.5% or even 2%. And that brings us closer to what our real potential is. In terms of structural reforms, we have been carrying out each of the steps which we have taken. And I must confess that I do realize that executive actions and money bills are more easily implementable than routine legislation. And when I say this with a sense of responsibility. Because of the history of this phase that we are passing through is written. Because I see this as an important turning point. If by sheer noise and disturbance, session after session of Parliament is not allowed to function, then this is going to be a precedent. It's going to be a precedent for all oppositions in future. It's going to be precedent for all oppositions in the state legislatures. And in relation to parliamentary democracy, we are going to enter a phase in which legislative activity is going to then become increasingly more difficult. And those who are responsible for setting this precedent will have to realize that their role in giving this unfortunate turning point to Indian democracy will also find a place in history. You see, when we look back at the history of India's parliamentary democracy, we do mention about our leaders of the first phase after independence, that they set some healthy precedents in relation to parliamentary democracy. And those who eliminated those healthy precedents will also find a mention, and a significant mention, at this phase, because if by these tactics you become outlaws as far as parliamentary democracies are concerned,